Shall we start the class? Good morning. Yeah. Can you see the image? Students, please do respond. Okay. Today, uh, welcome to Dr. Ambedkar Open University online classes. This is social psychology. The, Today we are going to talk about Unit 3, impression formation and impression management. So, what is impression formation? Any idea? Anyone would like to talk to me? Now? Yeah, ठीक है. So, this is all about how you present yourself and how you maintain yourself when you are with the others in social settings. So this is social psychology. We have completed attribution and introduction classes over attribution. Now we are talking about impression formation and management. So today's objectives. What are the objectives of today's class? We'll try to explain what is impression formation, define what is meant by the term schema and the script, and describe their roles in impression formation. Then explain what is prototype, exemplar, and social stereotype, and other things. So now, what is impression formation? Let us define it. Impression formation is the process of forming opinion or belief about others. It is given by Hull and Gunnery in 2011 somewhere. So they have done extensive research on information formation and how to manage ourselves when we present to social settings, different environments. So what does it mean? When you go to office, you dress up in a way which is acceptable for that particular environment. Similarly, when you go out for outing or vacation, your dressing is completely different, which makes you comfortable. In which you are comfortable, you will wear those dressing. Similarly, impression management is a technique used to control how others perceive us. Knapp and Hull and Horgan, they defined it in a different way, like how you manage, how you form impression with the help of verbal, non-verbal cues, how they present themselves, how they talk, how they dress up, and how are their gestures, their ethnicity, their gender, race, cultural, exhibits what they are doing. All these things uh, form a impression. Similarly, when you go out in a different settings, you have to use different outfit. One outfit doesn't go in all the environments or places wherever you go. Why it is important? It shapes relationships and social interactions, and it influences personal and professional success. By knowing impression formation and management, you can balance yourself with yourself and the others. So let us dive deep into impression formation through non-verbal cues. What are non-verbal cues? What are non-verbal cues? Without speaking, you exhibit certain. Sorry, screen is blank. Sorry, yeah. So look at this image. What is the impression you get when looking at this particular individual based on your previous experiences, knowledge? You form different opinion. Are you able to see the screen, or it is like yesterday? Please talk to me, students, or type in. There is no response. Well, that's okay. I assume that you are able to see the screen. Okay. Based on your previous experiences, you may say that he is a, yeah, thank you. You may say that he is a farmer, or a person is going on a pilgrimage, or XYZ, whatever you feel like, you may say it. You are not able to see the screen. There is an individual on the screen. Please type in. Okay, just I'll change the mode 1 second. I think somebody else is also accessing this. 1 second. Now, are you able to see the screen now?
No,
Okay. I'll disconnect this immediately. I'll share my entire desktop so that you may see it. 1 second. Now,
now
now,
we can see, sir.
okay, great. Now, what do you form when you look at this image? What is that you're going to uh, assess about this individual?
A religious person.
Very good. How about this person? We are talking about non-verbal cues. Try to assess. Well, that's okay. His dress reveals a lot. Then, how about this person?
Maybe firefighter or a policeman, the guys.
Firefighter. Very good. Very good. How about this person? Similarly, this guy.
A single man.
Yeah, very good. Very good. And look at the other contrasting images. This individual, who is he?
Doctor.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. Very good.
Okay.
Very good. How about this?
Businessman.
Very nice. How about
Businessman.
a
how?
Soldier.
military man.
Army.
A soldier, an army, or a military man.
Soldier.
Very good. She. It is not he. She.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, looking at these images, do you draw any conclusion? Who are these people? These
There are different types of
non-verbal cues which are presented to you without even they letting you know anything, you are able to talk about them because of their attire or their physical appearance. Okay, now look at this person. He is the same individual after 25 years. Look at this person. He's the doctor. Okay. So looking at his, earlier image and the AI generated image, can you identify, are they both same? No, it is difficult. but his way of laughing, smiling, everything remains same. Similarly,
Yes.
this female, this is AI generated. She is a military official. So based on this, you might have assumed about something about her, but finally, once she got into some specific job or something, she has changed herself completely different. So these are non-verbal cues. By looking at, you assign certain traits to those individuals. They may be correct, they may not be correct. You may be stereotype in certain things. Female cannot be a military officer. Immediately you said, he is a military person. Well, now jumping into the topic again, non-verbal cues. So what are the non-verbal cues? These are very crucial in forming first impression. You have you ever heard about, first impression is the best impression?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Everywhere, wherever you go, first impression is the best impression. While going to interviews, it is very important that you have, present yourself at the best. So maintain those, important things where you can easily win yourself, in others' opinion. So different types of non-verbal cues are there. For example, distance, proximity. How much distance are you staying, while talking with the other individual in a corporate settings? You are very close to them. That is, there is a principle called, 1.5 feet, 4 feet, 3 feet, something like that is there. I'll show you here only, and you will understand. So this is what, up to 18 inches intimate, very close friendship. The person who trusts you more, they stay very close to you, talk to you. They are like, family, friends, close relatives, children whom you trust, you are very close to them. That is 0 to 18 inches or maybe 2 feet, 2 feet, where they come close. That proximity can convey that intimacy and trust towards you. Example, standing closer during the conversation may indicate trust. Suppose you are moving away, personal 1.5 feet, that is 2 feet to 4 feet. It's a personal, like, you in general environment, you talk in a student teacher relationship, an office boss, something like that. You stay, if at all you are so close, you don't go more than 1.5 feet to 4 feet. You will stay, put yourself among that distance only. Similarly, there is a social distance. We have gone through um, China virus. What is that? Pandemic, COVID-19 pandemic. So that you maintained at least 6 feet distance. Similarly, in public places, whenever you go, it is better to maintain 12 feet plus distance. So gestures, how you stand, how your hands are put together, or whether it is open or closed, your hand movements, your body posture. Gesture is something which is without even letting, doing anything, you're exhibiting yourself to others, what you're thinking, whether you're interested or not, whether you're just faking attention, something like that. For example, while going in a you're sitting in a classroom, you're nodding your head to the teacher or a lecturer or professor. That indicates that you're showing interest, you're engaged with that particular topic. Otherwise, teacher may think, what is this? Am I getting these people somewhere out of the topic? They are not nodding, they are not showing any interest, their eye contact is not there. Eye contact is very important in non-verbal cues. They are very crucial in forming information, impression. Similarly, eye contact is the direct contact signals confidence. Avoidance, may indicate discomfort. While you're talking on a web meeting or net meeting, you have to look into the camera so that the other person sees that you are paying attention to what have been discussed, or whether you are interested to that topic or not, something like that. It is very important to maintain eye contact, not just in web meeting or virtual meeting or anything. Even in a classroom environment, it is very important for teacher and the student to maintain eye contact. That indicates, topic is, going into the student, and student will also understand whether student eyes blinks, that indicates something is wrong, whether she or he is not understanding. Teacher changes their topic according to the interest of the gathering or students. So this is what I kept, distance wise. I've indicated certain images, what is the amicable distance to maintain at particular environments or settings. That includes school, colleges, friends, family. Everything has a limitation, at the same time closeness. So how facial expressions improve, are important, especially in uh, web settings. Similarly, how you present yourself in a general environment, or universally recognized emotions are, especially, for example, happiness, anger, disguise, disgusting, all these things we show very easily to the other person. These were defined by, Patterson and Sketchett in 1970. I have given three facial expressions of three individuals. Look at their, expressions for the fear. Three people, three different expressions. You can't generalize their facial based on one particular, fear means everybody represents fear alike. No, because their facial construction may differ. Their muscles may not contract as everybody's muscles. Some people have difference in expressing certain things. So based on your experience only, you assess certain things. These can be short term, very immediate what do you call, um, what is that expression, sorry, impression may mislead to wrong judgments. So similarly, example, smiling during an interview conveys approachability. It is, vice versa. The interviewer, if at all he is smiling, welcoming the interview into the room, then immediately the other person can feel comfort and easily give, the best of his, abilities to the interviewing person. So physical cues, these are very important. As I said, first impression is the best impression. Dressing, your dressing, grooming, how you groom, hair, uh, what is the attire you're using, the posture. Mostly these things influence a lot. You're going for an interview as an MNC company, you can't simply casually go. Uh, at least go with a tuck-in shirt and all these things, formal shoes. Especially, many people prefer black, but dark tan is what preferred all over the world. Mostly used is dark tan, but some people just simply pick up, black, thinking that it is most suited for any official environment. So dressing, grooming, posture, these influences, judgment of the person who is sitting just opposite to us. So wearing a proper attire is very important for the situation. So I've given some, casual dressing, business casuals, business formal. And there are about 8 to 10 different types of dressing styles. I think women know more than men. So example, farmer, as I have told you, professionalism, and even one more thing. If you are, completely formally dressed, people even feel that, you're somewhat unapproachable. So they feel, uh, "ठीक I'll talk to somebody else who is wearing casual dressing." So formal is where you feel that it is official. So maybe they are not approachable. So casual dressing is more opted by many people all around the world, apart from corporate world. So role, what is role? Looking at the image, can you guess? Role is something, silently indicates their capability, presence. If I say teacher, what do you recollect? You recollect your childhood memories, how you were treated by your teacher, your favorite teacher, your teaching teacher, very serious teacher. So role plays a major role in your life while learning things, especially when you say teacher, you definitely feel this. Teacher is very competent. She is knowledgeable. She knows everything. He knows everything. And you expect a lot. Even after 10 years, 15 years, you go back to your teacher. You immediately bow before them, accept their, whatever they say. You see that they are a guiding personality. Even after 15, 20 years, you go back to them, see them as a big personality who can guide you forever. So that is the role we assign to that particular person because of the role which she is played in your life while you are growing up. Similarly, student definitely is a person who learns things, always learning. In everybody is a student, always learns things. uh, every day is a new learning for everyone. Similarly, these are different attires or dressings which will catch your attention, especially doctor means immediately white coat or lab coat that conveys competence and trustworthiness. अगर डॉक्टर ड्रेस कोट पे नहीं है, then what you will do? ये डॉक्टर है क्या? Somebody you will definitely ask, is he doctor? अच्छा, okay. Then when person comes in a lab coat or a white coat, immediately you pay attention. You get up and ask the sir what happened, how is XYZ, whatever it is. Similarly, the unusual haircut. Unusual haircut means not the present generation students or youth moving around. I'm talking about military haircut. Special haircut means immediately we collect military people. Similarly, their dressing indicates. Previously, one of you was telling that he's a firefighting professional, firefighter, because his attire was showing, non-verbal cues are showing that silently they are exhibiting. Silent features are like uh, gender, male, female, race, African, Indian, American, European. Uh, Similarly, certain things, immediately you form an opinion about them. Impression form हो जाएगा. Similarly, a vibrant eye, unique features attract attention. Nelson and Clutus said in 2000, unique features attract attention. So, a vibrant outfit in a formal setting or an unusual haircut or hairstyle. Similarly, as I said, role, you always see your teacher as a role model in the beginning stages of life. And you even ignore your parents saying, no, 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 my teacher's told like this. She knows everything, you don't know anything. This is the impression you will have until you finish your school days, uh, 10th class or whatever, right? Now coming to next one, implicit personality trait. What is implicit? By looking at this image, maybe you can guess. Implicit or something, these unconsciously we associate between traits. Mane, if I say something, uh, what do you call warm? Warm means very close or people who can understand you. Immediately you assign she is a warm personality. If I say that, immediately you think she is very good, beautiful looking, smart, etc. These are all interlinked without even knowing that we assign a particular traits to that particular personality. So unconsciously associating between the traits. This is an example I gave. Look at this. If I say inspire, emotional, mental, Inspire means you may even collect, leader, maybe male. Based on your experience, you may say female. Attitude, optimistic, person, positive. And if I say good looking, you may think good looking based on your experience, maybe your teacher, your sir. Based on his qualities, you unconsciously bring them together to that particular individual. Okay, so why it is significant? Significant, implicit personality is significant, shapes our expectations and behavior towards others. Believing a soft spoken person is also a introverted. Somebody, you are sitting in a class, you come to university for practicals, you sit there, one person individual sits away from or come and sit in front of I mean in the front benches, some may sit in the last benches, and they're not talking to anybody. If you ask something, they answer and sit quietly. You feel that they're introverted, maybe they don't want to mix with anybody, and you assign certain qualities, traits to that particular individual. So this is called, say why it is significance means it shapes our expectations and behavior towards others. So what is then? I'll give a simple example. Warmth means what do you think? Immediately sun. Sun in cold winters. So warm embraces a gentle touch or a kind words, seemingly simple gesture holding the power of transform lives and relationships, fostering a deep sense of connection and well-being that nourishes the souls. Example: her genuine smile and attentive listening made everyone feel intensely welcome. This is nothing but warm. Genuine smile and attentive listening. A boss where she smiles genuinely and listens to everybody attentively, then everybody feels warmth with, talking to boss, shares everything with her or him. Similarly, implicit traits are influences perception of influencer or a public figure on a platforms like Instagram or LinkedIn, etc. So competence. In generally, if I say competence, you relate yourself to, link it to intelligence and reliability. Competence, competitive. You say somebody is, he is very competitive. What does it mean? Seeing a teacher as a both knowledgeable and approachable. Competent is the ability to do something successfully or efficiently. It is about having a necessary skill, knowledge, and expertise to perform a task well. Teacher को क्यों, why that particular job is given to her? To teach something. You're going to your mathematics teacher. Not everybody can teach mathematics, as one can teach. You may be good at mathematics, somebody else is also teaching maths, but your teaching can impress the other every student in the classroom, where a particular style of teacher cannot impress everybody in the classroom because her or his way of teaching is completely different. For example, I may teach, beautifully in the classroom when compared to the online classes. So looking at online class, you can't judge me my offline classes. Similarly, offline, online, a lot of difference is there. Eye contact is very, very important. That is the reason I say when you teach, you have to look into students' eyes. Then lot of information is going to flow from teacher's brain. So once teacher is approachable, automatically students involve into the class and topic. Solomon Ash, he has given a lot of done extensive research based on what do you call Gestalt theory, psychology, and so he worked on central and peripheral traits and implicit personality traits. So he is the individual who has done that If you remember in the first class, I talked about him on Solomon Ash line, a line experiment, conformity based experiment. So what is this? His research in 1946 uh, talked about, traits like warm or cold significantly shapes overall impression. Warm and cold, these are, central traits. They make a difference. When they are clubbed with the other traits, they I mean, warm and cold can influence the entire personality. You can assess the individual based on these two traits only. Every individual has 5 to 10 central traits. This is given by Solomon Asch, and he said, uh, 5 to 10 central traits that are core to who they are and reflect a consistent way of behaving, dealing with others, and reacting to new situations. I'll show you with example. These are the list given to the participants by Solomon Asch. Central traits and peripheral traits were combined, and he has list A and list B. Can you see this, on the left side of the screen? So list A has 7 traits. List B also has 7 traits, where only one word was changed. That is the central trait, warm and cold. When somebody has, whenever it was shown to the students or the participants, immediately they asked to select one trait, one list. Immediately they selected, most of the people selected warm list A, because warm was giving, more appealing or more, closeness when compared to the cold. Cold means immediately it says, person may not be approachable. Like a teacher describes as warm may also be perceived as a approachable, even if he or she is strict. Teacher warm बोल के कोई बोलेंगे ना, then immediately you will appreciate. I will go and talk to teacher, even he or she is very strict. You see, she is going to give you complete information, or she is going to help you in many ways. If she is cold or he is cold, you will never approach, because they may manipulate something later on. That's what you assume. Peripheral traits are like, the peripheral he also created one list with the peripheral traits, list A and list B. Similarly, as included in that, polite and blunt and cautious, and he changed these words. That doesn't play much role in selecting list A or B. They went common. They chose either of one is okay, because these peripheral traits, they doesn't make any, difference in an individual, while central traits make a lot of difference, especially warm and cold, something like that. So traits like polite or blunt have less impact on overall impression. A polite manager may not necessarily be seen as effective or competent. अगर manager polite है, it doesn't mean he can be efficient or effective or competent. Polite रहेगा लेकिन he won't be efficient. But if he's a warm, it makes a lot of difference. So applications, yes, highlights, how language chosen or choice during the introduction of interview shapes perceptions. Excuse me. So how does it play a role? Suppose you're going to introduce yourself in the interview. Oh, sorry, 1 second. Interview. So using a clear, concise, and positive language, it can create a strong impression. While using vague, शायद, sir नहीं कर सकता हूँ, something like that, will, definitely put you into bad position in an interview. Similarly, instead of, giving excuses, if you say sorry, many things will be solved. So sorry, sir, I don't know. So can you move on to the next question? That can be a good option instead of, lying something or, talking negative. So using language is very important. Using positive, precise, simple, concise, clear voice. Tone is also very important. How you talk, how you communicate. Are you able to look into their eyes? Is it clear? What are they able to understand what you're speaking? Are you audible? Tone, tenor, all these things are very, very important in framing an impression. So what are trade centrality is also discussed by the Solomon Ash. They, as I said, every individual will have 5 to 10 traits, central traits in common. Specifically, they will have those traits. You can define those people with those traits. Peripheral traits can vary. Some traits, for example, honesty. If you say honesty, or core and effect relative perceptions also. For example, these are central traits. High and low can impact. These are given by post Freudian uh, call. One second. Uh, Ocean. Ocean is nothing but openness, conscientiousness, extraversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism. These were defined based on this is the latest trait theory, where negative, low is somewhat, some places negative, some places it is positive, but staying in between is always good. So when I say some traits are core and affect related perceptions, what does it mean? An honest politician may also be viewed as ethical. Honest politician बोले तो क्या है? Immediately you will think honest बोलते ही, then what do you say? ఏం చెప్తారు మీరు? You say he is ethical, and you will assign so many other things like time पे आएगा, काम करेगा, he will do our work. इनके पास जाएंगे, he is very honest, पैसा नहीं लेगा. You assign so many things. Okay, somebody is sending message. 1 second. Not able to see? Okay. Yeah, truthful. Correct. So honest means truthful. Yeah, very good. So similarly, categorization. See, this is very important. Trait to centrality. Categorization simplifies complex information by grouping people based on their shared traits. What does it mean? Social categories like gender, race, and social class. Middle class है, ऊपर lower class है, high middle class है या rich, influences our perception. You look at an individual, he's shouting on the road, based on his dressing attire, you decide whether he's useless or he does is shouting as any cause or reason. Agar bada aadmi, the person with a proper attire is shouting, then you think there is something important is going on. If some normal dressed person or poorly dressed person is there, you may say that, अरे पागल है क्या, क्यों shout कर रहा है? You also go and shout him without even looking into the consequences. Similarly, race, social class influences our perceptions. In turn, physical features such as height, weight, or facial expressions, again, these can influence, what is going on around you. Example, categorizing someone as nerd based on their love for books. आदमी अच्छा पढ़ रहा है, he is always into the book. You may say, अरे छोड़ो, he is very boring. He is a book lover. But what you say, instead of saying, अरे इसका knowledge ज़्यादा है, he got very good knowledge, let us go and talk to him. When you need something, you go to him. Otherwise, you'll say both. Based on your need and requirement, you form impression. Similarly, real life relevance applications, real life influencing branding, public image. profession like marketing, politics, branding. I'll talk about branding. You'll see brand personality. What is this? Based on down to earth, honesty, wholesome, cheerful. Down to earth means family oriented, small town. Generally, what we assign to them, and sincere, real. Wholesome means original. You can see, what is that? Burger King. No, uh, Domino's. Domino's, they use, uh, competence, reliable, intelligence, and successful. These trait uh, they use for even coloring other things. McDonald's, they use sincerity, brand personality. This is how they choose, including color combinations. Nike, just do it. They said they say, daring. This one, second one, excitement, trendy, excited, spirited, imaginative, and up to date. So based on this trait, they design their colors, their dressing, their tagline, everything influences the people who are purchasing it. Now, what are schemas, prototype, and stereotype? Schema is nothing but a mental framework for organizing information about people or situations. Acts as a overarching concept that includes prototypes and stereotypes. Schemas में prototype और stereotype दोनों रहते हैं. For example, doctor बोलते हैं क्या आएगा? What does it come to your mind? Doctor बोलते ही what do you say? White coat आएगा ना दिमाग में? आएगी कि नहीं? You will definitely see doctor बोलते ही white coat आएगा based on your experience or you have seen somewhere. Otherwise, if I say police, what comes to your mind? First, their dress, brown color or some other color based on your experience. So, watchman बोलते हैं कौन सा color आ जाएगा? Similarly, you have those mental frameworks in your brain based on the information which you received. You organized them. You kept that in your brain. Whenever I say something, immediately those are coming from your brain, and you are reflecting that without even seeing. You are able to assess them. Prototype. It is the a specific idealized example within a category. Schema बोले तो. I mean, in a schema. That is, if I say bird, what is that you're going to recollect? You may recollect, sparrow. A prototype is what immediately comes into our mind when we think of a category of people, group, bird, or animal. So, if you are, bird lover, immediately you have a lot of information. You may say bird, bolte hi immediately somebody may say peacock. Somebody may say sparrow, house sparrow. Animal lover, you have pet in your home, immediately you will say dog. So these are, then the segregation or other things come into the picture. कौन सा कलर है, क्या करता है, whether it barks, it roars, all these things come into your brain later on. Similarly, if I say leader, what does it come to your mind? A confident speaker who can lead people, who can change the surroundings or situations or world. So Lippmann about stereotypes, he said, is a generalized, often oversimplified belief derived from schemas and prototypes. Simplified. Mane commonly men were stereotyped as being independent and competitive. It is the example given by him only. These, Diox and Lewis. So women are warm and emotional. This is what he is given. These people are given this example. Commonly, men are stereotyped being independent and competitive. Women are warm and emotional. Whenever I say driver, a truck driver, whom do you recollect? You may say male. Driving बोलो तो क्या सोचेंगे? Women can't drive properly, men can drive properly. This is a stereotype. So it doesn't mean only men can drive properly, women can also drive properly or skillfully. So this is very important to, this is a stereotype where if I say teacher, immediately whom do you recollect? You may recollect your female teacher into the brain. Teacher means both genders. It can be male or female. But whenever I say teacher, you immediately recollect your female teacher or the person who influenced you most. That was the schema which your brain stored, and you stereotyped that to everybody. Whenever I say teacher, immediately you recollect a female teacher or a male teacher or the person who influenced you. And based on that, everywhere if I say teacher, immediately you, entire world, every teacher is a female. Driver, truck driver, every truck driver is a male. Policeman, previously it was only male. Now even female is also there. So now how schemas are formed? I have illustrated this with a small example or a flowchart. Just look at it. Uh, are you able to see this? Because yesterday there was a problem.
Yes, sir, we are able to see.
Nice. So based on your early experiences, you form certain mental framework. You organize that information about people, situation, or anything it may be. So it forms a schema. Whenever something triggers you, or something which strikes, or immediately you see something, immediately that trigger goes to your thought process, or immediately it creates a pattern or collecting data, thoughts, physiology, emotion, behavior. Then immediately based on that situation you act according to that. Your emotions arise, whether it was pleasant one or fearful one. Excuse me. Emotion whether it was a pleasant one, immediately your behavior, whether it is a dog, it immediately, you cuddle it, you just touch it, you play with it. It was a bad emotion, immediately you try to shout on it, or you try to run away from that. These are schemas. Automatic, if something triggers, immediately these things are inside brain or are arranged as a schema. I hope I could make some sense. Okay, here is an example which I just narrated. Uh, in seeing something, it can be with your five senses. Okay, touch, hear, see, smell. Uh, uh, yeah, I think I gave you hear, smell. Yeah. Then immediately you pay attention to that sound or anything it is. It may be a physical stimulus. Immediately neural activation occurs. You immediately, it recalls the information from the schema or episode. Says it is an animal. Immediately it's a dog. Animal and it's a dog. And I activate an adequate schema. ये तो dog है. Respond, cuddle, run. So four-legged one, bark. Does it have a leash? Is it tied? Everything recollect, brain immediately releases all those information. Based on that, you act. Clear? Okay. Now, it's a continuum process. What is continuum? It's a continuous process model of information formation. So, impression formation. What does it mean? A spectrum ranging from automatic, that is quick judgments, to deliberate or thoughtful analysis, impression formation. Fiske and Newberg stated this. What is that? Let us see. You have, your brain is continuously processing based on certain factors, whether it is short one or a deliberate one. If it is short one, your impression is very quick to form. That is the reason I said, first impression is the best impression. So present your first impression to the best. You may see yourself, in a better position wherever you go. The next presentation would be very good and people will accept you easily. So when Quick impression based on the need and requirement. If at all you want, you will assess it, and it takes time. So desire for accuracy prompts deeper processing. If at all you want to know about that person or particular event or particular thing, you will take time, you deep dive into that assessment. Then cognitive resources will help you out. Time, energy, thoughtful analysis say that, yes, this may be correct. This particular, what my impression was wrong about that particular person, he may be good, maybe I did not judge him properly. Let us take the same thing then. Example, see, as I said, automatically judging a person rude, believing on the first interaction. Look at this first interaction, a brief short period. Do you know that impressions are formed within the 5 to 30 seconds of meeting? Are you aware of that? You can assess an individual within the 5 to 30 seconds of meeting. Otherwise, you will never form an impression about that individual. So automatically judging a person as a rude based on the brief interaction. Then deliberate attention. Deliberate, what will happen? Deliberate means considering external stressors behind the behavior. You may think, अरे ये क्यों ऐसा behave करा? Maybe external problems है शायद, इसीलिए he might have faced odd situation. Maybe he could not sleep well. Traffic में कुछ problem हो गया. This is the reason he is stressed. That's the reason he did not talk to me today. He did not wish me, nor he did not help me. It's a continuous process. Your impression formation is going to change based on the situation and the time you have, the need you have to assess that person. Need is most important, time is important. Then what are the types of biases you have? Context effect and bias. And they said, oh, sorry, yeah. Situational cues impact impressions. What are the situational cues? A reserved individual at a party. You know an individual, and you don't know an individual. You just met him in a party, and you've seen him. He's completely different. He's isolated, sitting and watching, and he's not talking to anybody. Somebody asked him to dance or do something. He's never mixing with anybody. But when you see the same person in a meeting of an office, where you also happen to sit there, you get shocked. What is this? He's very serious and he's doing excellent job. So initially you had something odd opinion about that individual. Then after looking at his caliber, discussion skills, then you may change his situational cues can impact the impression. So Wanke, Bless and Ego in 2001, they given this situational cues can impact your impression formation. Then bias, positive and negative biases are there. Initial impression outweighs subsequent behavior. Initially, definitely, you may have some, as I previously illustrated that saying that, there's so many people may give you positive or negative biases, or you may form positive or negative biases. Initial impression, as I said, in averaging principle, you put them together, assess them, positive and negative traits. Based on that, you make a assessment and or judgment about that individual. Applications, yes, it is very important in a hiring where single strong trait may dominate judgment. Suppose you are well dressed, you're well groomed and went to the interview, and the manager may, you don't have subsequent skills, but you could uh, give proper, not extraordinary, but you could do some judgment to that particular manager may think that you could do some justice to the job if you're though you are not completely uh, for that job. He or she may think that, yes, I can hire this individual, he got some good traits, but maybe I can change him. Maybe situations can, give him better. Let us give him a better option so that he can change himself. So it is very important hiring where single strong trait dominates the judgment. Person, presenting himself beautifully and initial talks are very good, he may acquire the job. He can dominate the overall interview. Similarly, these things in office settings also, this particular impressions can change your arguments and other things. There are other cognitive biases are there, which is not there in this topic anyway. So now, first impression, as I told you, one second. Yeah, first impression and self-fulfillment prophecies. So first impression and self, what is it? Primacy effect. The first 5 to 30 seconds is what you can make impression on anybody, formed within the seconds, and it is very difficult to change. You have seen somebody and it is very difficult for you to change forever. So you can change it, but with a lot of difficulty. For example, a candidate handshake during an interview can set the tone. Agar you are able to shake hand firmly for a brief period, 2 to 3 seconds, that's a good way of giving a handshake. You just shook hand without even having any interest in other person, it doesn't indicate any confidence in you. So it is very important to handshake for a brief period, maximum 2 to 3 seconds. 2 3 movements, then leave the hand, otherwise it will trouble you. That is what told by Lawrence et al. And Macri and Quadflieg. These people defined first impression in their own style. So self-fulfillment prophecies. There's so many psychologists and sociologists who have explained this. I've given it is there in your textbook. Go through that. Expectations shapes behavior. Reinforcement, initial impressment. So you're opting for a particular job, and you what do you call you want to uh, you're with boss and he likes particular behavior of yours, you would reinforce it because that was impressing your boss, so you reinforce it and you see that you do it every time, so that your boss is happy and appreciates you. For example, teacher with high expectations inspire better students performance. Teacher क्या सोचेगा, ये बच्चा अच्छा पढ़ रहा है, let me pam say shabashi dena hai. Then whenever she says very good, immediately student sees that he gets more good, studies well. And you can see that based on this chart you can see teacher expectations are high. Similarly, students also performance is increasing day by day because of teachers positive approach towards the student is reinforcing that particular behavior again and again, and finally you can see a very good graph moving up. Similarly, this is a simple representation I gave you. This is teacher and student effect I gave you. I think we are coming close to the time, so I'll have to finish it. So what is impression management? A lot more is there. I So what is impression? It definition was given by Sharp, Getz, and Led and Wayne, etc. Strategies affects strategic efforts and influence how others perceive us. Dressing formally for a job interview. Why it is important? Enhances personal and professional relationships, personal and professional, building a credible and likability. So see, no matter how you look personally, like I like to wear white t-shirt at home, always white color. I can't come in t-shirts all the time to the university and teach classes to you. There I have my separate way of dressing. Here I have my own choice of dressing. And have you can have them. Similarly, an individual does multiple roles, performing multiple talents at multiple places with and he has he has to manage certain things, so he does so many roles. For example, at home he is a husband, father, son, etc. So he has to manage so many. Time is running. Just I am rushing. I still have so much. Opinion, opinion, conformity, and excuses and apologies. I'll try to rush as early as possible. Opinion conformity. Bain has given in 1971, aligning with others' views. Opinion conformity, confirming, as I said, conformity experiment by Ash, to others' views to gain approval. So whenever your boss says, agreeing, says immediately, yes, boss, you're right, boss. ठीक है, boss, I'll do it. So this is how you confirms with the others' opinions also. Agreeing with the manager's strategy and maintaining the harmony. No matter he doesn't say it, or the strategy is not good, but you sync your voice with him. Then later on you say, maybe we can do it this way. Yours is excellent, boss. Can we try this also? That is how you have to handle the bosses. Excuse and apologies. So excuse deflects blame. Excuse लेते ही बोलेंगे अरे क्या है, he is doing it wantedly, again is giving excuses. Instead of excuse, if you say apologies, then immediately the relationship restores. Explaining missed deadline due to unforeseen circumstances. Don't explain it. Instead of that, you give apology, immediately relationship restores. Similarly, it is a dynamic in team dynamics to maintain positive image after conflict. I'm rushing it. I'll try to finish it as early as possible. Only 5 minutes are left. So self promotion, where you highlight your strengths, accomplishments, so that every people starts appreciate impression management, right? Appreciate your strengths and highlight your accomplishments, etc. Sharing with others. Flattery is complimenting others to gain favor. As I said, complimenting your client whenever you go to your client place, automatically doing, oh, excellent idea, how can I do that, you are great, you got a good idea. So immediately client accepts your compliment, and maybe it becomes a good deal for you in real life. So this goes well with the sales. Like you go and purchase a car, whatever you choose, immediately sales guy says, excellent choice, sir, great, you're good, you have great taste, something like that, and you're completely flattened with their compliments. Especially this happens with the jewelry shops. They say whatever you wear, they say excellent, आप पे अच्छा जच रहा है, ड्रेस भी ऐसा ही बोलते हैं, ठीक है. So this is something where behavior designed to make oneself likable. Up ingratiation is something where you dress yourself, design yourself so that others like you. Offering colleagues there, um, for example, somebody is rushing in a project, you go there, you offer yourself, I'll help you, do you need any help, I'll definitely help it. So you offer help and you complete, see that work is done. So demonstrating the dedication to earn respect, you are continuously hardworking, volunteering for a challenging task. So that indicates that you are like, you people will definitely appreciate you. अरे ये तो hard worker है. We have to that's how you are managing your impression. Volunteering for a challenging task. Nobody accepts this, but you say I'll do it. Then they starts liking you. Your impression is maintained. So supplication, appealing for the help, showing somebody is not able to do anything, or they are facing some difficulty, immediately you go asking uh, किसी का help लेना, वो काम करने के लिए. These things can be done. So in summary, impression formation relies on nonverbal cues and implicit traits. Ash research highlighted the role of central traits. Impression management involves strategic techniques like flattery, excuses, etc. Impressions, how physical, nonverbal, stereotypes, schemas, and behavioral confirmation affects behavior. Then again, these things are continuously formed. Now coming to the end, where it is applicable: workplace, effective impression management improves teamwork and career growth. Personal relationships, understanding bias fosters better communication. Teacher expectation influences students' outcomes. Educational, and be mindful, and your impression can change yourself and others around you. and it's a very important to maintain impression. Thank you. And these are the important questions. Go through them before reading any unit. First, read the glossary, understand the words properly, then dive into the topic so that it will be very easy to complete. Thank you so much, friends.
Thank you,
See you,
sir.
see you next week.
Thank
And
you, sir.
yeah, next week we'll have 2 more classes. Is it okay if we go ahead with socialization and the social cognition, or interpersonal attractions and attitude? Which one you want me to take? Socialization and the social cognition,
Yes.
or interpersonal attractions and attitude? Which one you want? Okay, we'll go according to the order. Okay,
Okay, sir.
right then. Take care. All the best.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.